You have greatness within you, but greatness doesn't scream for attention. It doesn't demand to be recognized before it's earned. True greatness is built in silence, with sweat, dedication, and perseverance. I want you to think for a moment about all the dreams you have, the ones that keep you awake at night, the ones that push you forward when everything else tries to hold you back. Those dreams aren't going to materialize because of the noise around you. They're not going to be realized by shouting, by telling the world what you're going to do, or by seeking applause before you've done the work. Success is not defined by the praise you receive, nor is it a product of external recognition. Success is rooted in the quiet, relentless effort you put in when no one is watching, when no one is cheering you on. It's easy to get caught up in the idea that you need constant validation, that every step you take should be acknowledged, and that the world must see the fruits of your labor as soon as you start working. However, the reality is that true success is built on the foundation of dedication and hard work, often without immediate rewards or applause. The key to lasting success is not found in the noise of praise, but in the quiet persistence of working diligently toward your goals. When you focus on the process instead of the praise, you shift your mindset from seeking instant gratification to valuing long-term achievement. In today's world, it's easy to get distracted by the desire for quick recognition. Social media, for instance, has created an environment where the number of likes, shares, and comments can easily become a metric of success. But true greatness isn't measured by how many people notice your work in the moment. It's measured by the depth of impact you create over time. The desire for external validation can cloud your judgment, making you more focused on the result than the journey that leads to it. When you focus solely on the recognition or the praise, you may begin to measure your worth based on others' opinions. This is a dangerous trap. Not everyone will understand your path, your struggles, or your ambitions. In fact, many people might not notice the work you're doing at all until it's already paying off. People often overlook the quiet, steady efforts that go on behind the scenes, the sacrifices made in silence, and the countless hours spent honing a craft or developing a skill. What matters more than what others think is the commitment you have to the work itself. The only person you need to impress is yourself, and the only recognition that should matter is the one you give to yourself when you see the progress you've made. By working in silence, you remove the distractions of outside opinions and focus on improving yourself and perfecting your craft. Every step forward, no matter how small, is a step toward becoming the person you're meant to be. The process becomes more important than the reward, and the reward becomes inevitable. When you focus on the work, when you're obsessed with the process, you end up creating something so meaningful that the applause will eventually follow, not because you sought it out, but because it's an inevitable byproduct of your dedication. Working in silence allows you to fully immerse yourself in the journey without being tempted to compare your progress to others. We often fall into the trap of looking at what others are doing and wondering why we're not where they are yet. But comparison is a thief. It steals your joy, it steals your focus, and it prevents you from recognizing how far you've come. The only person you should compare yourself to is the person you were yesterday. If you're constantly improving, pushing yourself to do better, and focusing on your own growth, the praise will come naturally. You won't need to chase after it because it will find you quietly and deservedly when the time is right. The most successful people in any field understand the value of working in silence. Think about the athletes, the artists, the entrepreneurs, the innovators. They don't work for the applause. They work because they are driven by something deeper, a desire to master their craft, to make an impact, to achieve greatness. The applause they receive is the byproduct of years of hard, unacknowledged work. For every public success, there are countless private struggles. For every moment in the spotlight, there were hours spent in solitude, honing skills, perfecting techniques, and overcoming obstacles without anyone noticing. Those who have achieved greatness did not do so by waiting for permission or by constantly seeking validation. They worked relentlessly in silence, driven by their own inner desire to succeed. When you learn to focus on the process and not the praise, you begin to take control of your own success. You understand that the work you put in today will pay off tomorrow. Success isn't a sprint, it's a marathon. And the best way to run that marathon is with a singular focus on the finish line without getting distracted by the crowds along the way. The applause will come at the right time, but it will be far more meaningful because it's earned, not expected. By working in silence, you allow yourself the space to grow and evolve without the pressure of external expectations. You're not working for anyone else's approval, you're working for the satisfaction of knowing you gave it your all. And when the time comes for your work to be seen, it will be that much more powerful because it's built on a solid foundation of hard work, perseverance, and a commitment to the craft. Remember that the quiet moments are often the most crucial. It's easy to get caught up in the pursuit of fame, fortune, or recognition. But the true test of your character and your commitment lies in what you do when no one is looking. The results will speak for themselves. The silence is where your greatness is forged. Success is not something that comes with a loud announcement. It doesn't require you to shout your intentions from the rooftops, nor does it need to be flaunted for the world to see. The most impactful successes often happen quietly away from the public eye and are revealed only after they've been fully realized. The idea that your results should speak for themselves is one that requires patience, dedication, and a deep understanding of the importance of substance over surface. When you work in silence, the focus remains on the work itself, and in the end, the fruits of your labor will be far more compelling than any words you could have said. You've probably heard the phrase, actions speak louder than words. It's a simple but powerful truth. Talk is cheap. Everyone can claim they're going to do something. Everyone can make grand declarations about their future success. But not everyone follows through with the necessary actions that turn those words into something real. It's easy to get caught up in the excitement of announcing your big plans, sharing your dreams with others, or posting updates about your progress. But when you work silently, focusing solely on the task at hand, you avoid all the distractions that come with seeking attention or approval. The real challenge is not telling people what you're going to do. The real challenge is doing the work day in and day out without needing to constantly remind others of your intentions. When you work in silence, you stay focused on the end goal. Not on how many people are watching, how many people are praising you, or how many people are following your every move. There is power in this silence. It allows you to put your energy into the work, rather than into managing perceptions or worrying about how your efforts are being received. And when the results finally arrive, they will be so undeniable, so impressive, that they won't need any introduction or justification. The concept of letting your results speak for themselves also means not seeking constant affirmation. It's tempting to want to tell people about your progress, to show them how hard you've been working, or to get feedback on your progress. But this need for validation can often derail you from the true path to success. You begin to care more about how others perceive your efforts than about the actual impact of your work. This shift in focus takes away from the true satisfaction of accomplishment. Instead of striving to meet others' expectations or to get their approval, you should focus on meeting your own standards and staying true to your vision. When you work silently, there's a quiet strength that builds over time. The results that speak for themselves come from this consistent effort, from doing what needs to be done, even when no one is paying attention. It's the late nights, the early mornings, the times when others are resting or taking breaks and you're still putting in the work. These are the moments that make the difference. These are the moments that shape your results, that build your future. And when the time comes, when your efforts have finally led to success, your results will tell the story. In many ways, working in silence allows you to avoid the trap of seeking approval from others. It removes the constant pressure of needing to prove yourself. You're not competing for recognition or validation. You're simply focused on doing the best you can, regardless of who notices. This mindset frees you from the noise that can easily distract you from what truly matters, the quality of your work and the progress you make every day. Additionally, letting your results speak for themselves means you stop relying on external circumstances to determine your worth. It's easy to get caught up in the need for others to see how hard you're working or to acknowledge your efforts. But real success doesn't rely on the opinions of others. It's rooted in your commitment to the task at hand, your dedication to self-improvement, and your belief in the value of your work, regardless of whether others see it immediately. Consider the story of those who have achieved monumental success in various fields. Whether it's in business, sports, or entertainment, the people who rise to the top often do so because they let their work speak for itself. They don't waste time explaining themselves or justifying their actions. They let the outcomes, the results, the impact of their efforts tell the story. When you focus on delivering value, when you dedicate yourself to excellence, your work will eventually stand out without you needing to promote it every step of the way. The results will be so compelling that others will take notice on their own. There's a unique power in allowing your results to speak for themselves. It is the power of authenticity. When you don't rely on external praise, you're not trying to fit into someone else's expectations of what success looks like. Instead, you define success for yourself. You set your own standards, you follow through with your actions, and you let the work you've done reflect your true potential. This creates an undeniable form of success, one that cannot be questioned or undermined by fleeting opinions or empty compliments. This process also allows you to avoid the danger of burnout that can come from constantly needing external validation. Constantly seeking recognition can lead to exhaustion because it takes away from the energy that should be directed toward the work itself. When you stop focusing on what others think and simply focus on doing your best, you find a deeper, more sustainable drive. It's not about being noticed by others. It's about the satisfaction you get from knowing that you've done your best, regardless of external recognition. When you work in silence and let your results speak for themselves, you embody a quiet confidence. You don't need to boast because the work speaks volumes. Your achievements are the loudest statements you can make. And when others finally notice your success, it will be the natural consequence of your sustained effort rather than the product of desperate attention seeking. Consistency is the quiet engine that drives success. It is the force that separates those who achieve greatness from those who fall short. The journey towards success is not marked by a single moment of brilliance or by bursts of intense effort. It is the steady, unrelenting commitment to progress. Day after day, week after week, month after month, that leads to lasting achievement. This is where true power lies, in the quiet, persistent effort to keep going, even when the results aren't immediately visible, and when others may not notice the incremental progress being made. Consistency is the key to developing mastery, to overcoming setbacks, and ultimately to turning dreams into reality. The importance of consistency cannot be overstated. It's easy to be motivated at the start of a new project, but sustaining that motivation over time requires a deep commitment to the process. Many people start strong, filled with enthusiasm and energy, only to lose steam as obstacles arise or the initial excitement fades. Consistency, however, is about sticking with it when motivation is low and when challenges seem insurmountable. It's about understanding that the path to success is not linear, and that setbacks and failures are a natural part of the process. What matters is not the speed with which you reach your goal, but your ability to show up every single day and continue moving forward. When you commit to consistency, you give yourself the opportunity to build momentum. Every action, no matter how small, adds to your overall progress. Small, steady steps compound over time, and before long, what once seemed impossible becomes within reach. It's like building a wall one brick at a time. In the beginning, the progress may seem slow, and the results might not be immediately obvious. But as the foundation is laid, and as each small step builds upon the last, the wall starts to take shape, and the end result becomes inevitable. It's in the daily grind, in the routine of showing up, that success is forged. There's no shortcut to mastery, no hack that will replace the need for consistent practice and improvement. Whether you're working on a skill, building a business, or pursuing a personal goal, it is the consistent effort that sharpens your abilities and moves you closer to your target. People often admire talent, but the reality is that talent without consistency is wasted potential. Talent combined with consistent effort is what leads to greatness. It is not about being the best right away. It's about being better than you were yesterday, continuously pushing the boundaries of what you can achieve. One of the challenges of consistency is that it can often feel thankless, especially in the early stages. The results of your efforts may not be immediately visible, and it can be difficult to stay motivated when progress seems slow. This is when many people falter. The temptation is to give up, to abandon the effort because the rewards aren't immediate. But it is in these moments when progress seems elusive that consistency is most important. It's the ability to keep going, even when you can't yet see the fruit of your labor, that separates those who succeed from those who give up. It's the courage to trust the process, knowing that your efforts will eventually pay off, even if you can't see it right now. Consistency also requires patience. You can't rush greatness. There is no shortcut to success. It takes time, it takes effort, and it takes the willingness to endure through periods of uncertainty and frustration. But as you remain consistent, you start to build a level of competence and confidence that wouldn't be possible if you were jumping from one thing to the next in search of quick results. Every time you face a challenge and persist, every time you show up when you don't feel like it, you are building resilience. You are training yourself not just in the task at hand, but in the art of perseverance, which is a skill that will serve you for the rest of your life. The journey of consistency also teaches you the importance of discipline. Motivation is fleeting. It comes and goes, depending on how you feel in any given moment. But discipline is what keeps you going when motivation wanes. Discipline is the ability to stick to your routine, to keep showing up even when you don't feel like it. It's about making the decision to stay committed to your goals, regardless of your emotional state. Discipline is not about being perfect, it's about being consistent, even when it's hard. It's about understanding that success doesn't come from doing something perfectly once in a while. It comes from doing the right things consistently, over and over again, until they become second nature. Moreover, consistency breeds confidence. The more you practice, the more you improve, and the more confident you become in your ability to succeed. This is true whether you're learning a new skill, building a business, or working on your personal development. Confidence is built through repeated efforts and experiences, and the more consistent you are, the more you learn from both your successes and your failures. Each small victory boosts your confidence, while each setback becomes a valuable lesson that shapes your growth. Over time, consistency turns into competence, and competence turns into mastery. In addition, consistency helps you stay focused on the bigger picture. In a world full of distractions and instant gratification, it's easy to lose sight of long-term goals. The allure of quick fixes, shortcuts, or alternative paths can be tempting, but those things rarely lead to lasting success. Consistency is the antidote to this. It keeps you grounded in your mission and reminds you that success is not an overnight occurrence. It requires steady, incremental progress, which is often more rewarding and fulfilling in the long run. Consistency teaches you the value of small efforts. It reminds you that you don't have to make giant leaps every day to achieve your goals. Small, consistent actions, repeated over time, lead to remarkable results. It's in these small daily actions that true transformation happens. And even when you don't see immediate results, consistency assures you that each step is another move toward your goal, another piece of the puzzle falling into place. In the end, it's consistency that keeps you going when the going gets tough. It's what ensures that you stay the course, even when the rewards seem far away. The people who succeed are not necessarily the ones with the most talent or the greatest circumstances, but the ones who keep showing up day after day, no matter what. Consistency is the bridge that connects your dreams to reality, and it's the one thing that can't be faked or rushed. It is the key to turning aspirations into achievements. In today's world, distractions are everywhere. We are constantly bombarded by notifications, messages, and the pressure to keep up with what others are doing. These distractions can easily pull us away from our goals, sidetracking us from the very things we're striving to achieve. In the midst of all this noise, the ability to ignore distractions and stay focused on what truly matters is a critical skill. Staying focused is not just about avoiding interruptions, it's about actively protecting your time and energy, directing them toward your priorities, and being intentional with how you spend your attention. One of the most powerful ways to maintain focus is to define your purpose and remind yourself regularly why you are doing what you're doing. When your purpose is clear, distractions lose their power. It's easy to be sidetracked when you're unsure of your path or when the importance of your goals is not firmly established in your mind. But when you are crystal clear on your mission, the distractions around you start to fade into the background. Whether your goal is personal development, building a business, or achieving excellence in any field, knowing why you are working toward it gives you the strength to ignore the distractions that seek to pull you away from that vision. Many distractions stem from a desire to please others or to compare ourselves with those around us. Social media, for example, often acts as a major distraction, tempting us to check updates, scroll through feeds, or become obsessed with how others are living their lives. It can create an illusion that everyone else is moving faster or achieving more, which can stir feelings of inadequacy or impatience. But the truth is, social media is often a highlight reel of people's lives, and it doesn't tell the whole story. Behind the perfectly curated posts are countless hours of struggle, failures, and hard work that are not visible to the public. The more you compare your journey to someone else's, the more likely you are to become distracted from your own path. To combat this, it is crucial to shift the focus back to your own journey. Every person has their own timeline, their own obstacles, and their own unique path to follow. If you spend too much time looking at others, you lose the opportunity to create something uniquely yours. Rather than getting distracted by the perceived success of others, concentrate on your own process and take pride in the progress you are making, no matter how small. Everyone's journey is different, and the only competition you should be concerned with is the one with your past self. In addition to external distractions, we also have internal distractions to contend with. Doubts, fears, and negative self-talk can easily pull us away from our work and prevent us from staying on course. These internal distractions can be even more insidious than external ones because they often feel like part of ourselves. Thoughts like, "I'm not good enough, I'll never make it," or "this is too hard," can undermine your confidence and distract you from your goals. It's important to recognize these thoughts for what they are: temporary, fleeting moments of doubt, and not let them dictate your actions. When you acknowledge that these negative thoughts are just distractions, you can then choose to let them pass without allowing them to interfere with your focus. You have the power to silence those doubts and replace them with thoughts that empower you, such as, "I am capable, I am making progress, and I can handle this challenge." Another significant source of distraction comes from the sheer volume of tasks and responsibilities we juggle in our daily lives. We live in an age where multitasking is glorified, but research has shown that multitasking can actually reduce productivity and lead to greater stress. When we try to do too many things at once, we spread ourselves thin and lose focus on what truly matters. Instead of dividing your attention between multiple tasks, focus on one thing at a time. Prioritize what is most important and dedicate the necessary time and energy to that task. This doesn't mean ignoring the other responsibilities you have. It means being intentional about where your attention goes at any given moment. The more you focus on one thing, the better you will perform and the more you will accomplish in the long run. Staying focused also requires creating an environment that supports your efforts. It's easy to become distracted when your workspace is cluttered or when you're constantly checking your phone or emails. A cluttered environment can make it difficult to concentrate as it pulls your attention in multiple directions. To stay focused, create an environment that minimizes distractions. This might mean turning off notifications, setting designated times for checking emails, or organizing your workspace so that it is conducive to productivity. Setting boundaries with others is also important, whether it's letting your family know when you need uninterrupted time or setting clear expectations with colleagues. The less you allow others to interrupt your flow, the easier it becomes to stay focused on the task at hand. It's also helpful to set specific goals and break them down into manageable tasks. When you have clear objectives in front of you, it's easier to maintain focus because you know exactly what you're working toward. Instead of feeling overwhelmed by the bigger picture, breaking it down into smaller, achievable steps makes it more manageable and less daunting. This approach keeps your attention laser focused on the task at hand, helping you avoid getting distracted by unrelated thoughts or tasks. Each completed step gives you a sense of accomplishment and brings you closer to your end goal, which keeps you motivated to continue pushing forward. Another effective way to stay focused is to manage your energy. Distractions often arise when we're tired, mentally fatigued, or overwhelmed. Taking regular breaks, getting enough sleep, and practicing self-care are essential for maintaining the energy levels needed to stay focused. It's easy to get caught up in the hustle, thinking that working nonstop is the key to success, but the reality is that your mind and body need rest in order to function at their best. When you're well rested and energized, you're better able to concentrate, solve problems, and remain productive. Avoiding burnout is a key part of staying focused, and that means knowing when to step back, recharge, and come back with renewed focus and clarity. Staying focused requires discipline and determination. It's a skill that you can develop over time, but it takes consistent practice. The more you practice maintaining focus, the easier it becomes to tune out distractions and keep your attention fixed on what matters. By making conscious decisions to avoid distractions, whether internal or external, you actively create an environment where success can flourish. Focused effort is a superpower, one that will carry you through the challenges you face and help you reach your goals with greater efficiency and effectiveness. The journey to success is filled with challenges, obstacles, and moments of doubt. No matter how hard we work, how focused we are, or how much we strive for our goals, there will always be times when we face setbacks. It's easy to let these setbacks define us, to allow them to make us question our abilities and our worth. But it's during these moments when we feel like giving up that our true strength is tested. The ability to bounce back from adversity, to keep going when things get tough, is what separates those who achieve their dreams from those who give up along the way. This ability to rise after failure, to keep moving forward despite challenges, is what defines resilience. Resilience is not an inherent trait, it is a learned skill. It is the ability to persevere through tough times, to keep going even when the road ahead seems uncertain, and to find strength in the face of adversity. Everyone faces difficulties in life, whether it's personal struggles, financial challenges, or professional setbacks. What makes the difference is not whether or not you face difficulties, but how you respond to them. Resilience is about how you choose to react when things don't go according to plan. The first step in building resilience is accepting that setbacks are a natural part of the process. Often we view failure or adversity as something to avoid, something that stands in the way of our progress. But the truth is, setbacks are a part of the growth process. They are the experiences that shape us, that teach us valuable lessons, and that build the character necessary for success. Failure is not a reflection of your abilities or potential. It is simply an opportunity to learn, adjust, and try again with more experience and knowledge. The sooner you accept that setbacks will happen, the easier it becomes to navigate them without letting them derail your progress. When facing adversity, it's essential to focus on the lesson, not the loss. Every setback offers a lesson if we are willing to learn from it. Whether it's a failure in business, a personal setback, or a professional disappointment, each experience holds valuable insights that can guide you in the future. Instead of viewing setbacks as defeats, see them as opportunities to reassess, reframe, and adapt. It's important to take time to reflect on what went wrong, what you could have done differently, and how you can use that knowledge to improve. The ability to learn from failure is one of the most powerful aspects of resilience. It ensures that each setback becomes a stepping stone towards success rather than a roadblock. A key component of resilience is the ability to maintain a positive mindset even in the face of adversity. It's easy to become overwhelmed by negative thoughts when things aren't going well. Fear of failure, self-doubt, and feelings of inadequacy can all take root during difficult times. But maintaining a positive outlook doesn't mean ignoring the difficulties you face. Instead, it's about choosing to focus on the possibilities rather than the limitations. It's about understanding that challenges are temporary and that your response to them will determine your future success. Developing a positive mindset involves cultivating gratitude, focusing on what you can control, and reframing negative situations as opportunities for growth. The more you train yourself to see the silver lining in challenging situations, the more resilient you will become. Resilience also requires emotional strength. It's easy to get discouraged when things don't go your way, but emotional strength is what enables you to bounce back from disappointment. Developing emotional resilience means learning to manage your emotions, especially in times of stress or frustration. It's about acknowledging your feelings without letting them take control. When setbacks occur, it's normal to feel disappointed, angry, or frustrated. But resilience means not allowing these emotions to dictate your actions. Instead of letting your emotions hold you back, you learn to channel them into positive energy, into finding solutions and pushing forward. Another key aspect of resilience is the ability to keep moving forward even when the path is unclear. When faced with challenges, it's easy to feel lost or uncertain about the next steps. The temptation may be to retreat, to quit, or to take the easy way out. But true resilience is about pushing through the uncertainty, about continuing to move forward even when you don't have all the answers. Sometimes the best thing you can do is take one step at a time, even if that step feels small. The key is to keep moving, to keep trying, and to keep believing that you are capable of overcoming the obstacles in your way. Building resilience also requires support from others. While resilience is often thought of as an individual trait, it's important to recognize that we don't have to go through tough times alone. Having a support system, whether it's friends, family, mentors, or colleagues, can make all the difference when facing adversity. Resilient individuals are not afraid to ask for help or to lean on others when needed. They understand that vulnerability is not a weakness but a strength. Surrounding yourself with people who uplift, encourage, and support you during challenging times can provide the motivation and reassurance you need to keep going. You don't have to face every challenge alone sometimes. Resilience means knowing when to seek support. Resilience is about flexibility. Life rarely goes according to plan, and the ability to adapt when things don't go the way you expect is a crucial part of resilience. Stubbornly holding on to a plan or vision that isn't working can lead to frustration and burnout. Resilient people understand the importance of being flexible, of adjusting their approach when necessary, and of being open to new solutions. This flexibility doesn't mean giving up on your goals. It means finding alternative ways to achieve them when the original plan no longer serves you. Being open to change and new perspectives allows you to navigate challenges with creativity and resourcefulness. In moments of adversity, it's important to stay connected to your sense of purpose. When the going gets tough, remembering why you started in the first place can reignite your determination and drive. Purpose provides the strength to keep going, even when the obstacles seem insurmountable. Your purpose is the reason you rise every day and continue to put in the work, and when things get difficult, it can serve as a powerful reminder of what you're working toward. Resilience is about holding on to that purpose, about continuing to believe in it, and using it as fuel to power through difficult moments. Resilience is about developing the mindset, skills, and strategies to face life's challenges head-on, knowing that every setback is an opportunity for growth. It's about learning from failure, maintaining a positive mindset, and having the emotional strength to keep moving forward. Resilience is not about avoiding hardship, it's about embracing it, knowing that your ability to persevere will define your success. The more resilient you become, the stronger you will be in the face of adversity, and the more likely you will be to reach your goals, no matter how tough the journey may be. The act of working hard in silence is often misunderstood in a world that constantly celebrates noise, visibility, and the public declaration of achievements. We live in an era where many are taught that success is only real if it's broadcasted, if it's shared on social media, or if it's acknowledged by others. The temptation to seek validation or recognition can sometimes overshadow the true essence of hard work. Yet, working hard in silence without the need for external applause or validation has a profound power that often leads to extraordinary, lasting success. It is in the quiet pursuit of goals, in the hours spent honing skills behind the scenes, that true growth and progress are made. When you choose to work hard in silence, you are essentially choosing the path of focus, dedication, and self-reliance. There is an inherent strength in not needing others to see your efforts for them to be meaningful. The journey toward mastery, whether in a career, a craft, or personal growth, is not always one of immediate recognition. In fact, the most important work often happens away from the spotlight, when no one is watching. This is where you lay the foundation for long-term success. Success does not come from the praise or approval of others, but from the consistent effort, the grinding work that takes place in solitude, often unseen and unacknowledged. One of the core reasons working hard in silence is so powerful is that it removes the distraction of external opinions. In today's society, we are bombarded with feedback, whether positive or negative, from family, friends, colleagues, or the wider world. Social media only amplifies this pressure, with people constantly sharing their achievements, milestones, and highlights for all to see. While feedback can be valuable when it becomes a primary focus, it can become a major distraction. Constantly seeking validation can divert your energy away from the actual work you need to do. Working in silence, on the other hand, allows you to focus on the task at hand, free from the pressures of what others think. It lets you maintain an internal compass, guided by your own values and vision, rather than by external expectations. Another significant advantage of working in silence is the space it creates for personal growth and reflection. When you're constantly seeking attention or acknowledgement for your efforts, it becomes harder to truly assess your progress and areas for improvement. Public recognition can sometimes cloud your judgment, giving you a false sense of accomplishment, or conversely, causing you to doubt your abilities when the praise doesn't come. Working in silence means that you are more likely to focus on internal growth, on refining your skills, learning from your mistakes, and adjusting your approach without the interference of outside opinions. This process of constant, quiet improvement is what leads to genuine mastery. Working hard in silence cultivates patience and long-term thinking. The immediate gratification of external validation often leads to a short-term focus, where people expect quick results or immediate acknowledgement for their efforts. The desire to show off can create an urgency to present accomplishments before they're truly ready. However, true progress takes time. Mastery is a long-term commitment that requires delayed gratification. Working in silence teaches you the importance of persistence and patience. You begin to understand that the work you put in today may not yield immediate results, but over time, those results will come. The quiet moments of practice, the hours spent learning, refining, and improving, compound into something far more powerful than any short-lived recognition. In addition to cultivating patience, working in silence helps you build a solid foundation of discipline and self-reliance. Without the constant need for approval or praise, you learn to rely on your internal motivation. This fosters a strong sense of discipline because you are working not for external rewards, but for the satisfaction of progress and self-improvement. When no one else is watching, you must be your own source of motivation, and this internal drive is what separates those who achieve lasting success from those who give up when the applause fades. Working in silence builds a sense of responsibility to yourself, your goals, your dreams, and your ambitions. This internal commitment is what sustains your work over the long term, even when there is no immediate recognition. Working hard in silence helps to cultivate humility. The desire for recognition can sometimes breed arrogance or entitlement. It's easy to get caught up in thinking that you deserve accolades for every small accomplishment. But when you choose to work in silence, your focus is on the process rather than the outcome. You become less concerned with being noticed and more interested in doing the work to the best of your ability. This humility allows you to stay grounded, to avoid the traps of ego, and to continue improving without becoming complacent. When you're not obsessed with what others think, you can remain focused on the bigger picture and resist the urge to seek approval for every step of progress. Working in silence allows you to embrace failure as part of the journey. Failure, by its very nature, is rarely celebrated in public. It's something most people want to hide or downplay. However, those who work in silence understand that failure is not something to fear, but something to learn from. When you work hard without expecting applause, you're free to make mistakes, learn from them, and improve without the pressure of having to justify yourself to others. You can fall and get back up without the judgment of the outside world. It's this freedom to fail and try again that ultimately leads to success. The willingness to embrace failure as a stepping stone rather than a setback is a hallmark of those who achieve greatness in silence. Another key benefit of working in silence is that it helps you maintain control over your narrative. When you seek external validation, you often allow others to define your success, to tell you whether or not your efforts are worthwhile. But by working hard in silence, you take ownership of your journey. You write your own story, and the success that comes from your efforts is defined by you, not by the opinions of others. This sense of autonomy is empowering, as it allows you to stay true to your vision and avoid being swayed by outside opinions or trends? Working hard in silence is a powerful approach that cultivates focus, discipline, and personal growth. It allows you to stay true to your goals without being distracted by external validation or opinions. By prioritizing the process over recognition, you build resilience, humility, and a strong internal drive, all of which are essential for long-term success. The quiet dedication to your craft leads to a more meaningful, sustained achievement that speaks for itself.